So my name's Cheryl Haswell, and I'm the nurse lead for recruitment and retainment here at GHC, working with the recruitment team.
My name's Helen. I am a research support officer. I work at the Focus Research Centre at Cheltenham General.
So I'm Laura Whitcomb. I'm an occupational therapist and I work as an integrated respiratory practitioner in the Gloucestershire Respiratory Service.
My name's Sam Lonnan. I was the infection prevention and control team lead before I then moved into the role of decontamination lead.
So I suppose the worst possible thing when you've got long COVID is when someone says, "Oh, you look really well," and you're thinking, "Oh my goodness, you have no idea that, you know, behind your face it hides a lot."
Lack of understanding comes in because clearly 90% of the time I think I look fairly well. It's only when I'm really struggling that I start to then look like I'm unwell. So I think that doesn't help either. That's that feeds that thought of, oh, she looks okay, so I'm sure she's all right.
You know, realising that perhaps just because your colleague who has long COVID, just because they perhaps look and seem okay, it doesn't mean they necessarily are managing.
I think for me it was just people who were supportive of me when I wasn't feeling well. Is there anything I can do to help, or can we change the meetings around, making sure you're not got back-to-back meetings all the time, all those sort of like practical things that make things a little bit easier. So if someone says they have got it, understand how it affects them, because there's so many different symptoms people have and it affects people very differently. And just ask, what does that mean to you? What do I need to do to support you for you to be at work, or, you know, for you to be able to come out and socialise, and just try and make those adjustments.
I guess I think for me, it's probably ask. Don't be afraid to ask. I think the big thing is, like I said, the lack of understanding, but I feel that it's sometimes it's difficult to ask about things that you don't really understand. And like I said, I don't think I'm the only one, but I don't think we're very good at telling people how we're feeling and putting that onto people when they don't necessarily, or if they haven't asked. It's you know, you're putting on to other people. So if somebody was to ask and say, so what's this all about? You know, how does this actually affect you? What does it do? Then yeah, I'm more than happy to explain.
You know, just actually checking in with them and, you know, saying, you know, well, how have you been feeling? How have things been going? I think sometimes there can be a tendency for people to not want to mention it, but I think sometimes if it is mentioned, you actually sort of feel a bit more sort of like validated and like people are aware that, you know, you are struggling. And maybe, you know, there's any sort of, you know, work that they want your input with, maybe to just sort of double check with you as well, you know, have you got the energy to be able to help me with this, you know, sort of that like appreciation that, you know, things at work can be more difficult than what they were before.
There is always in the back of your mind about brain fog. Have I done what I said I was going to do? And I do get asked quite a lot to do things that I feel I've already done. And I immediately doubt myself and think, oh, this is going to be one of those bad weeks. I'm sliding back. When's it going to get better? And it's only when I go back and check sent emails or notes that I put into system one or whatever it might be that I think, oh no, I did do that. But it's having the confidence to be able to say, yeah, I sent that email. Yeah, I made that, I changed the records. Yeah, I've completed that datex. Yeah, I've updated the risk assessment. When you first hear that, oh, I haven't had that email from you, you think, oh, heavens above, I'm absolutely convinced I sent it. And you immediately think, I haven't sent it. In many respects, I feel that you're also having to perpetually prove yourself. You can't just, you know, you need almost 3 points of reference that you have done that job. So treat people who've got long COVID as you normally would do, but and give them the benefit of the doubt.
You really do need to have a good working relationship with your line manager to explain what you're going through, what help you need, so reasonable adjustment can be made. And it really is important that then that support is is given to you, and you know, you need to tell people if it isn't there. So I think that having a good discussion with your line manager, or if you can't, finding somebody else that you can confide in, is quite key.
Ask for help, 100%. You have to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness. It's 100%. It's a sign of courage, I think, and strength, when you can say, or you can admit, look, I'm not managing too well with this at the minute. It makes a world of difference when you've got the support in place. So don't be afraid to ask. Do ask for help, and find the long COVID support groups. Do it. Seek them out. They're there, and they're full of people who can understand completely what you're going through. So seek them out, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one. I think I'm sometimes guilty myself of perhaps not talking about it as much as I should. You know, sort of, be honest with your managers if you're struggling and need any extra support, because in my experience, the trust has been really good with that. And yeah, join some sort of support groups, like on social media, that you find are really helpful. A lot of things have been helpful,
Yes.
but I think there is an element of time being a great healer. And I think, especially sort of at the start of my journey, I kept thinking, oh my God, what can I try? Because there's so many things people were trying to get themselves better. But I think there is an element of your body does just need that time as well.